Now the term Startup India is gradually improving day by day. Everyone is doing their startups in nowadays. So let's learn some basic about the Startup India. If in the next day you are going to start your own startups, then you have to know about the basic idea that what should be maintained in a Startup India. So the basically the first thing is your startup must be owned by your own self. You are never going through partner with some government organization or some multinational company or a bigger company. Your company should be owned by yourself only, and the company is should not be greater than 10 years. Your company should be less than 10-year old, and turnover in one financial year should not be greater than 100 crore. So everyone starting thinking that side, the startup should be a new one. You can be a new one, but if your company is less than 10 years, then you can be apply for the Startup India. So right now the Startup India have a lots of benefits for the MSME sector, for the entrepreneurs, because in MSME sector there are a lots of growth are happening in their life. So that's why everyone is applying for the Startup India sector. So what the applicability of a Startup India sector, and why should we get a satisfaction of Startup India? If we are not having a Startup India certificate, then what are the problems we are going to face, and what are the facility we are being if we have a Startup India certificate? So if you have a Startup India certificate, then the tax assumptions should be there, and you can find easily get a loan from any banks or any organization who are providing the loans. And by the help of the certificate, if your company is going to give some patent, then by the help of the certificate you can find easily get a certificate of patent, and you can easily procedure all the things with a less amount of um, expenditures. But a startup company is just like a thing you are applying to the government that your company should be startup or not. They have to approve you are comes under the startup company or not. How can you apply? There is a portal, the startupindia.gov.in. In this portal you can go through apply for your startup company, and your company you have to mention about your startup, what the company product, what are the revenue model, what are the services you are providing, and what are the things you are doing. Basically if your company is a new one, and the identification of problems and the problem solving, then you can be satisfied with the Startup India programs. Basically the Startup India programs means you have to find out the problems that is facing by the consumer or the businessman or anyone who is facing the problems, and you have to first of all you have to identify the problems, and you have to identify the solutions. If you are not going to identify the solutions, then your startup is nothing. You have to satisfy with your answer that my solution is the ultimate way for these problems. And if you satisfy the government employees or the person who are in there to verify your documents, then you can be find the certification of a Startup India project. So everyone is saying that I am start up my company. But if you are going to get a certificate from the government organization, then you have to follow some steps. If you're not getting the steps and not getting a certificate, then your company should be a different one. This may be a startup company for a private organization, for private, and you may be get and you may be not get the benefits from these all things. If you want to get the benefits, then you have to get the certificate. Now the trend is going on that co-founder of a company. This is not a bad thing, this is a very good thing. But rather getting a co-founder of a company tag, if you are doing the thing which can give you the company the best one, that can be worthful. Rather if you are a startup company, you are a and you are just behind the hashtag co-founder of a company, then maybe this is not going to fulfill your dreams. If you are following the passion, following the things that you are going on, and following the product quality, and following the process that you are going on, then that can be give you the better quality and the better one. So today for this, thanking you, Ranjan Gridesai.